Good afternoon, everyone. May I have your attention, please? Very shortly, from 3:30, we'd like to begin the main event for the forum of the second Sejong Center for Performing Arts. So all the distinguished guests and participants, please be seated. And please make sure if you turn your mobile. Once again, with the
지금부터 여의도공원 제2세종문화회관 디자인공모 대시민 포럼을 시작하겠습니다. 여러분 안녕하세요. 반갑습니다. 저는 오늘 사회를 맡은 서울시 아나운서 유채린입니다. 반갑습니다.
And this is a Friday afternoon. Thank you very much for coming here in this precious time. We are here to listen to the 5 work that have been selected from the International Design Competition, which is a part of Urban Design and Architecture Design Innovation Project. Now we are sharing the result of that competition and listen to your opinions and form a social consensus. So, to begin with, I'd like to walk you through today's program. And this forum will be started with the messages from the Seoul City supervising architect. And then we will listen from the chairperson of the screening committee of his or her general critic. And then we will show you the 5 works. So there will be session 1 and 2. The 5 team will make a presentation. And then we will have a Q&A session. And after the Q&A, there will be the award giving ceremony. And during the award giving ceremony, there are messages from the Seoul City Mayor and some many other congratulatory speeches. So please be here until the very last moment. Now I'd like to introduce you the presenter of the 5 teams. So I will call all the presenters, including presenter and their team members. So all presenter and team members, please come to the stage. And distinguished guests, please give them a big hand. First up, POM Architects and Melike Altinix Architects and Alliance team, please come to the stage. And continuing on, the second team, Hirim Architects Studio, please come to the stage. And continuing on, Team 3, Jury Gauge Shimpyeong Engineering Team, please come to the stage. And Team 4 is Design Camp, Moonbak DMP and Professor Kim Young-min, please come to the front. And Team 5, Zaha Hadid Architects and ULD Landscaping Design Studio, please come to the stage. So before listening to the presentation, I just introduce the teams who selected as the 5 finalists to you. So please give them a big hand when I call the teams. So team 1 is BORM Architects and Melike Altinix Architects and Alliance. So please give them a big hand of applause. And team 2 is Hirim Architects. Please give them a big hand. And team 3, Jury Gauge and Shimpyeong Engineering. Please join me to welcome them. And team 4, Design Camp, Moonbak DMP and Professor Kim Young-min. Last but not least, Zaha Hadid Architects, ULD Landscaping Design Studio. Please give them a big hand. So I have introduced the 5 teams to you first of all. Please give them another round of applause, and all the presenters and team members, you may go back to your seats.
And we don't really have all teams on the stage, but I wanted to introduce the audience who are here today for the presentation. So let's move on to the official opening of the forum. Before we begin the presentations, first we'd like to invite the Chief Architect of the Seoul Metropolitan City Government, who has led the design innovation project for this second Sejong City Culture for the performing arts. Please welcome him with a big round of applause. Kang Byung-gun, the Chief Architect of the Seoul Metropolitan City. When you look at the screen, you can read that it is the second Sejong Center for Performing Arts. When it comes to culture, it is a trajectory of our life. The trajectory of our life will be embedded in this new project, the second Sejong Center for Performing Arts. The key is that it's not just a simple plate or embodiment, but we want it to be an art. an art piece. So when you think about it, it's for our citizen. We want the daily life of our citizen and the trajectory of their life. We want it to be really blended into this masterpiece of the architecture. So we want to see an art piece. That is what I asked for this new project. Well, when you think about an art, it's something that we feel, because human beings are definite and we have our limitations, but art is about all the endeavors to try to move beyond these whole limitations as human beings. And all the 5 teams who are represented here today will break down this whole chain of the limitations of the human beings to come up with an art piece. So we feel the limitations in our daily lives as a human beings, and I want you to come up with a really innovative idea to break down the limitations that we have as human beings so that all the citizens can really feel the art piece. And that's what I want to hear. And the 5 teams today, over 60 teams or candidate teams, they have been selected to be the best of the best, and that's why they are here. And that's why we have invited the 5 teams to listen to their proposals. And I'm really excited, and I really look forward to their ideas, not just from our city government, but from anyone who is in this journey, every citizen of Seoul. So please remember that. And I really look forward to listening to your presentation. Thank you so much. Please give a big round of applause.
올해 도시 건축을
So he has been a lot of work for the urban design and architecture of Seoul City, and thank you very much. And so now it's time to listen to the chairperson of a screen committee, the Professor Koo Ja-hoon of Hanyang University. He will deliver the general critics. Please welcome him with a big hand. So this International Design Committee received 55 proposals in total. So there are a couple of principles for us to screen. All the juries got together. Actually, the juries, 2 are architect and 1 are landscape designer, and me myself is working as the urban design expert, and we have 1 administration and planning expert. So there are 5 juries. When we started the screening, the big concerns the Seoul City had is that out of 55 projects and proposals, the ratio between the international and domestic is like 3-2. But if we just select the domestic project only, then it may have a negative impact for the future international competition. But if we just select the international project more, then the local design studio are kind of the neglected. So since the number of proposals is like 3-2, so we just thought it would be best if we just have 2 international project and 3 domestic projects. So for that, we just discussed whether we're gonna separate the international project from the domestic project. We just discussed that, but we go back to the ground zero, principle zero, which is the paying only attention to the work without names or the nationalities of the work. We can help what the result is, so we just stick to our principle. But luckily, so we just pay attention to the work and quality of the design itself. But coincidentally and luckily, the result is a 3-2 ratio between the domestic and international project. So I can happily say that the level and the quality of the design between international and the domestic studios are shoulder to shoulder these days. And going through 55 projects is pretty big and taking a lot of time. So there are negative methodologies and positive methodologies. So we just screen out the work that should shouldn't be in the final list at the very beginning. That is called as negative. And then we just select the qualified one, and we can discuss in depth. So we just discuss if that is working appropriately. However, the juries go with the positive works. So the all juries can select 5 works first. So if any work that receive 1 vote from any jury, then that work should go to the second stage. Then any work that advanced into the second stage, we will deep dive into discussion to understand the qualities and the characteristics of the design. So from the stage 1, we just go with the positive methodologies. So we selected more than 10 works from the stage 1, and whenever we just have a discussion, we just talk about the strengths and weaknesses. And in the second stage, we screen out to 6 works, and out of 6, we just discuss a little further. So finally, we have 5 works. So we fully understand the content and characteristics and limitations of every and each work. So in the stage 1, there is a works that received 4 votes. So actually, 4 out of 5 juries pay attention, cast votes, but some of them were failed out in the stage 2. Because we didn't spend a lot of time stage 1, so when any work that receive 1 vote go to the stage 2, so when all the work on the stage 2 have been analyzed and scrutinized very thoroughly. You may wonder what is the criteria. We didn't have discussion in advance, but there is one principle that we all of us agreed on. The key part and key priority is that the uniqueness of the site. It has a Han River and park, but more important thing is that Korean people knew it. There is a Hangang River Park, and there is a general site, and there is a differences in the level. But sometimes whenever we have water, the flood, it has been inundated, and that has been limited for the usages during the summer. So the biggest concern is that how we can resolve and find a solution for the underground. So the first criteria is the deep understanding about underground space and the connectivity. And there are many works who fail to meet this criteria. And even some Korean design studio didn't understand these kind of characteristics of the site well. And the second, the criteria is that this is a performing center, and it is a festivity space, and Yeouido is kind of very dry. And to create the festivity, the spaces inside of the Yeouido, we want to design some spaces that welcome people, and people can get together to enjoy or celebrate something. So the second thing is art, sense of art. And the third is that the circulation between Hangang River and Hangang River itself and the park, and the integrity between the architectural spaces and the park. So these are 3 main criteria to screen, and we spend a lot of time to discuss, to select final 5 works. So before I read it through the pamphlet, I just write down some the memos to explain the strengths of every 5 works. But if you read the pamphlets, that actually describe the weaknesses and strengths pretty well. So if you are interested in the strengths of each work, you may refer to the pamphlet, and also you can listen from the designer themselves directly very shortly when they are making presentations. So actually, in the past, whenever we are having the design competition, we just select one winning project and then go into the construction page. But that is only the opinions of experts can be heard. But now Seoul City is promoting the design innovation. And so we just select a couple of project or design, then we can just share that project with the citizens and listen to the citizens' opinion opinion, and we can incorporate the citizens' opinion into the final design. So please listen carefully to the presentation, and please feel free to provide your opinion. Then all the designers will listen carefully to you, and your opinions will be incorporated into the design and facility. So it is the process that the citizens work together with the expert. So I believe this is a very innovative process. I sincerely wish we will find a very positive and creative the result where all the citizens are happy with. Thank you very much.
부탁드립니다.
Please give him a big round of applause. Professor Koo Cha-hoon shared the process of evaluation of the proposals, and now we will hear the presentation of the 5 best proposals with the public. And as I mentioned earlier, the session 1 and 2 we will have for those 5 presentations. First, for the session 1, we will have 3 presentations in order, and the first presentation I'd like to invite from Palm Architects and the Merlike Architects Alive us team, and on their behalf, the Merlike Artistic will make a presentation. Please welcome her with a big round of applause.
Hi everyone, I am Melike Altınışık, founder of MAA and the design architect for this park. We can start the presentation. Spark is the collaborative work by Baum Architects, MAA Architects, and Alivius Landscape for the second SEJONG Performing Arts Center. The design philosophy of the Spark will symbolize a seamless integration for the Seoul city. Sparks aims spreading sparks with its harmonious elliptical ring-shaped facilities among the Yeouido Park and Han River. It adopts an interconnected approach for the Seoul city to connect people, nature, and culture. It creates a cultural complex that becomes a landmark in the heart of the city. It aims to blend nature and culture into a collective space for the community in an innovative way. It spreads all the facilities among the waterside and park with elliptically shaped architectural space organizations. Actually, it is prioritizing cultural and natural values to create an environmental friendly complex in harmony with its surroundings. It is characterized by the fusion of natural landscape, waterscape, cultural scape, and cityscape. This design enables visitors to access various cultural landscapes from multiple access points, providing continuous visual and natural circulation. Sail port on the Han River, located on the northeast side of the Spark. When the tourists and visitors will arrive in Seoul port, they will gently follow the public facilities and landscape features on the riverside to arrive here. Located at the corner of Yeouido Park, surrounded by the Han River on the northeast side, and connects waterside public facilities towards the southwest. Spark aims to preserve the existing ecosystem while providing an area for urban cultural events just next to the Seoul International Financial Center. A new underground connection in between IFC Mall and Hyundai Seoul has been planned to improve the walkability towards the Spark as well. The urban design approach blends nature and culture into harmonious space for the community. The landscape design also plays a significant role in sustainability. We chose materials and plants carefully, thinking about the local climatic conditions. Our goal is to make shaded spots with trees and structural elements such as elevated plaza, urban passage, and pedestrian bridges to reduce the urban heat island effect and support biodiversity. Spark is envisioned as a vibrant hub for the community, offering a variety of cultural experiences such as performing arts, exhibitions, museums, festivals, concerts, and other facilities. It not only serves as a symbol for the city, but also empowers citizens for providing them with ownership of these public spaces and contributing to the cultural and social fabric of Seoul. The inclusion of the urban passage, elevated plaza, and pedestrian bridges adds a dynamic and visually striking element to this cultural complex. This cultural complex consists of 5 separated buildings: Grand Performance Hall with 2,000 seats, Medium Theater with 700 seats, Museum and Exhibition, Education and Management buildings, all centralized to form the Spark. In between those separated buildings, people can now walk freely on the first and second level from all directions, and this concept generates a new type of public plaza. The pedestrian bridges serve also as an observatory platforms for the visitors to experience a new type of journey. The ecological approach applied to ensure that the complex acts as a responsible, eco-conscious structure within this urban landscape. Preliminary design decisions regarding the building mass, location, and orientation are made with the focus on optimizing solar control, daylighting, and natural ventilation. Sustainability concepts are carefully focused on maximizing energy efficiency, water conservation, and the use of environmental friendly materials. Building materials are chosen based on these environmental impacts throughout their life cycle. The perforated metal facade shading panels are designed to offer significant benefits such as effectively reflecting, storing, and transmitting heat, contributing to energy efficiency. The use of petrochemical-based plastics or PVC with negative effects on the environment is minimized. Instead, natural materials are preferred. Along the urban passage and elevated plaza level, art shop, cafes, restaurants are arranged to encourage public gatherings and spending more time within the cultural complex. 5 separated buildings, Grand Performance Hall, Medium Theater, Museum, and Education buildings, they are all surrounding the urban passage and elevated plaza. This design encourages people to interact and improve pedestrian connections between the Han River, Yoido Park, and the financial center. Elevated plaza, located on level 6 plus 6 meter, is designed to extend the park and act as an observation platform towards the Han River city and park. It offers visitors a unique experience. Spark buildings, they share a common basement with underground parking around 440 cars. The Grand Performance Hall and the Medium Theater are strategically positioned towards directly facing the Han River, while the Museum, Exhibition, Education, and Management buildings are located on the southwest side facing Yoido Park. Performance hall buildings accommodates rehearsal rooms, restaurants, and cafes towards the Han River with observation terraces where visitors will enjoy the Seoul city from a higher level with maximum building height 35 meters. The Grand Performance Hall with 2 balcony levels has 2 different seating scenarios. First scenario hosts 2,000 people, second scenario hosts around 4,000 people for bigger concert events. The Grand Performance Hall lobby with 3-level high atrium view. The Grand Performance Hall interior view from first balcony level towards the stage. Medium Theater Hall hosts 700 people for theater performative facilities, medium theater lobby with atrium view, theater hall interior view from stage towards the seating areas. Spark is a space where architectural knowledge merges with people, nature, and culture. We don't pass through it unchanged. You pass through it both directions. It creates the imagination of one-way trip each time you pass through it. It touches the sensation of users by being in, on, and under the spark. It creates visual effect, it creates repetition, it slows, it accelerates, it alters the movement of people by its design formation of cultural and architectural treasures. Spark is looking forward to spreading the sparks of Seoul to symbolize the next 100 years in the city with the fusion of nature, culture, technology for people in Seoul City. Thank you.
네, 박수 부탁드립니다.
Please give a big round of applause.
첫 번째 발표작 여러분들
So that was the first presentation. How did you find it? Yeouido Park and Hangang River have been met pretty well, and that's the space of shelter and culture. I think all of you have your opinion on it. So let's move on to the team 2. Team 2 is Hirim Architects, and Mr. Jung Young-gyun will make a presentation. Please welcome him with a big hand.
네, 안녕하십니까?
Great to see you all. I am Jung Young-gyun, the CEO of Hirim Architects. First of all, thank you very much for coming out of a great passion. And my thanks goes to the Seoul citizens and the Seoul city government officials for operating and hosting this great event. I am very thrilled to share our idea with you, so I'd like to begin my presentation right away. Would you hit the button one more time? Han River Park and Yeouido Park becomes one. We'd like to make a proposal of the new iconic space of the Han River in Seoul. It is open to the Han River, so we secure the sense of visuality to the Han River. So we divided the theater into two, and there is a small-scale terraces type of building. So the function of the park has been continued, and the pedestrian road has been open to the all direction. So this art center is open to everyone 24/7. As a part of a park, we are free from the vehicle and free from the level in the differences in the level. So you can have safe activities. Very horizontal curve of Choma or Eve will be symbolizing on Han River Renaissance, and against the backdrop of two theaters, citizens can have a great open space. So it will be a new landscape representing Yeouido. So it is helping Seoul City to look forward to better future. Han River is our great pride, show the development of Seoul, and it has been called as lifeline of Seoul citizens. At the center of Seoul, Yeouido lies, and that connects to Seobu Western Line and UAM and turn itself into a hub of metropolitan transportation. Han River is a representative space of Seoul. However, it has been separated from the road, so people have a difficulty to go into the Han River. And the site is separated from the Yeouido Park and Hangang River Park because of the difference in the level. And there is a wide the traffic load which separates these two parks. So because of that, Hangang River Park and the Yeouido Park are existing as an independent park, not connected. The first stage to resolve this issue is to open the sense of visibility to the Han River. So we decided to separate the huge volume of the theater into two. And we create spaces under the eaves or choma and adding the three-dimensional deck and bridge to connect all separated spaces into one. And we try to expand the park. So as a medium spaces, we select and create spaces under choma or eave where people can exist together with the nature, do a lot of activities. On top of that, we introduce the concept of madang or square, which is a part of the Korean traditional architecture where people can meet and enjoy the nature. You can see Han River, Namsan Mountain, and Bukhan Mountain, and these two spaces are separated into two, so we can maximize the sense of visibility and the human scale. And we add wide deck that connects Hangang River and Yeouido Park, so it connects and expands the parks. There is no boundaries between outdoor and indoor once you are getting into the spaces under the eaves, so you are free from the weather conditions, and it's a space to accommodate people, nature, and cultural activities. As you can see here, the second Sejong Center for Performing Arts starts from the end of the Yeouido Park, and it opens to the Hangang River, and with a low-rising terrace-type building, it seems like a part of a park. And this will be a new landmark of Seoul and will be iconic of a great Hangang River project. This is the design process. As I mentioned earlier, we secure the visibility to Han River, so we separate the theater into two mess, and by using the wide deck, it goes over the wide traffic road, and from the second level, you have an accessibility to the Seoul port. And right here, we secure the sense of visibility to the Han River, and we incorporate that into a part of park, so some of the theater are separated and subdivided into terrace. And we also created spaces under choma or eaves that's working as an expansion of Yeouido Park and connectivity to the Han River. And throughout these spaces under the eave, we can organically connect visibility and movement and circulation to the Han River. That is the main concept of our design. And this is a layout, the Chomascape, that has a green space and waterfront. And it allows people to have a better accessibility. So we open the space between the two theaters so people can go to the Hangang River to the Yeouido Park. And the medium that connects to the outside plays a critical role here. Largely around the waterfront spaces, we create the big flows inside the park, and that make up for the waterfront spaces, which is not enough in Yeouido. And around the waterfront, we are providing the green area and deck where people can do day-to-day activities. As a result, we create three themed waterfront, landscape, and cultural pool. This is the theater where you can see a large-scale performances. So this is open theater. From the end of the Yeouido Park, you can see the second Sejong Center for the Performing Arts. This is a part of Yeouido Park, and there is great connectivity to the Han River seamlessly. Waterfront space, green area, and pedestrian deck have been actively utilized, so you can connect from the Yeouido Park to the Hangang River Park. And from the Yeouido to the Han River, we secure the sense of visibility by dividing the theaters into two. And cultural events and external activities can happen in the grass lawn in front of the building, and the terrace-type mass design, which seems like a part of a park. The daily lives of Seoul citizens can happen in these spaces under the eaves which connect to the Han River. As you can see here, this is a perfect place where people, nature, and the activities of citizens that can happen all together and that have been connected and expanded. That is the main value that we believe this building has. And now I'd like to show you the circulation. There is a pedestrian road underground and there is a deck overground. So not only the people but also bicycle have a great accessibility to Hangang River. And now in the future, we will build Seoul Port. So to the Seoul Port, you can have a direct accessibility through the pedestrian bridge. So this is a human scale. So everything, and in particular, the roof has been subdivided at the human scale. So anybody can go up there. So it is public spaces. The amenity facilities are divided surrounding this building. So we turn this space into a new iconic space of Seoul. The entrance to the building and the theater can happen at every different level. So we secure the maximum safety for the participants and audience. An exhibition and training center or education center have a great accessibility, great visibility to Hangang River and Yeouido. And the space under the eaves, which is expansion of the Park that is open to the citizens and operate 24/7. And this is open to every direction, so you can enjoy the new sceneries of Seoul all around the year. And the jibung or roof is a very round shape, symbolizing open space, and it also contains eco-friendly sustainability elements. All the rainstorms collected to the roof and the ecological ponds creates eco-friendly water circulation system. And the solar lay and the wind flows have been reflected when we designed the roof, and also that have an impact on the spaces under the eaves. And the space under the eave is free from the extreme weather conditions outside. Last but not least, connectivity between Yeouido Island and Han River that is actually separated these whole spaces into two. So this is a terrace type building. So whenever there is no the activities or the performance, you can go up there to have a cup of tea, to see the Han River and Yeouido, and the roof itself, which got the idea from the traditional architectural style. You can enjoy the legacy of Korea too. Please give him a big hand.
So thank you. That was a great presentation about the Han River and the park and the people and this architecture connected, and that was great. And now we will move on to the third presentation. Next presenter is Zurich Age and the Sinpyeong Engineering, and on their behalf, Pierre Duig will make a presentation. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Dear jury, dear citizens, 안녕하세요. Thank you for being able to be here today. It is a great pleasure and honor. I'm Guillermo Dürig, principal of Dürig AG, and I'm presenting today our proposal. You can press play when you like. The presentation is structured into 5 main points. The presentation is structured in 5 main points: nature, public, sustainability, care and precision, and future. The project is the symbiosis of these 5 ambitions and represents the team's values and goals. It is very important to take the right decisions now for the future. The first ambition is the preservation of nature and ecology. Green islands characterize today's city of Seoul. Parks, river, forest, and hills serve as green lungs for climate stability, as well as for the inhabitants to stroll, relax, and to feel the nature. With a densifying city in the future, these incredible valuable areas and its qualities have to be protected, multiplied for a greener and an even more livable city. With the preservation of the beautiful Yeouido Park, our project acts as a pioneer for the protection and enlargement of Seoul's green areas. By strengthening the connection to the river, we aim to further increase these qualities. Already today, the Yoido Park features a unique axis which connects the city with the river park and its public functions. By placing the auditoriums below ground, the unobstructed connection on ground floor is maintained. 2 volumes frame the park, minimizing the harm on the nature and strengthening the connection of park and river in its very center. This idea saves the existing and gentle flow of wind towards the river, allowing a pleasant cooling of the neighborhood. The significance of this is going to increase in the near future with the rising global temperatures. The open plaza in the center permits additionally an enlargement of the park, which extends itself naturally towards the river. The trees continue through our project and will allow users, pedestrians, cyclists, and neighbors a shadowed and cool connection from and to the river. At the same time, water elements expand into the project and the park, linking both strongly with each other. Park and river merge to a completely united entity for the population to live in a more beautiful and pleasant environment. The second ambition is to increase the public. The center of the project consists of a big, public, open plaza with trees. The connection of the river and park allows the existing public qualities to expand unobstructed and enliven the new plaza at the project's heart. We want our project to be in first place a center for citizens, a vibrant and pleasant place to gather and spend time. The design allows fluent connections from and to the river, offering a diversity of passes for the different users and its need. The project and its overground volumes are accessible from different sides and fully integrated into the city's fabric. The project offers attractive and multifunctional spaces within the trees during day and a spectacular monument of lights at night. The transparent nature of the building, with its openable facades, will host cafes, bars, restaurants, and other amenities directly connected to the park. Inside and outside merge and animate in a symbiosis one another. The circulation within the building leads the public to the rooftops as well as to the auditoriums underneath, offering a distinctive circulation experience. Areas for shopping and gastronomy will activate the foyer to make an attractive address for locals independently from the artistic program. Light installations create complementary atmospheres that change from performance to performance. Each visit will bring new experiences to the visitors by creating new spatial atmospheres. Different colors could be linked, for example, to the performance's topics. The central plaza is the heart of the project and fosters gathering for neighbors, visitors, and employees. Trees, grass, and water create a pleasant atmosphere. In combination with the building and enlivened by its program, it is set to become another outdoor space full of quality in the Yoido Park. Generous spaces in the upper floors offer high-quality areas for work and education. Additionally, a public event space on the 6th floor will be available for the general public, overseeing the park and its trees. Introverted spaces underneath the ground allow the artists to concentrate without distraction in a protected environment. After experiencing the unique vertical stairs, the spectators can fully focus on the performances in the serene and elegant spaces. Through light, lasers, holograms, and art performances, the plaza becomes an icon of a kind. The new building acts as a canvas. The plurality of its use adds another layer to the interaction of building, culture, park, and public. The third value is to create a sustainable building as a role model. Minimizing overground construction allows the maximum expansion of nature and parks in this ever-densifying city. Public parks are to maximize. Public areas are arranged in 3 different levels of the project, allowing the city to explore the new building as well as its surroundings from new heights. The programs attract guests not only to the auditoriums and the public plaza on the ground floor, but also to the new terraces on the rooftops, where the citizens can enjoy the beautiful views of the city and the Han River. The spaces are arranged in the most compact way in order to reduce the impact of the new construction on its surroundings, as well as to optimize the cost of the building. The tradition of Korea's wood construction is reintroduced as a new and highly technological material for the future. Unifying tradition and future, the project aims to be a model for many public buildings to come. Furthermore, the wooden structure, as a regrowing resource, has a positive impact on the ecology. Care and precision. It is with great respect for Korea and its built environment that we're designing with maximum care and precision. The project radiates sensibility and elegance. The reflection of the park and its trees, as well as the sky, multiplies nature and allows a subtle and careful integration on site. The building changes its expression during the day and the seasons. By foregrounding light and nature, the building reveals a new and unique expression in every visit. Transparency underlines the openness of the building. Different layers assume different roles in the building's functioning. The wood offers a warm, welcoming, and calm interior, fostering the well-being of its users. The careful technological detailing stands out as a model for a unique performing art center. The expression shows the attitude for innovation. The precision of its appearance creates an emotional connection to Yoido's context. Merging the spirit of park and building, the new plaza becomes an iconic and unique space for Seoul's inhabitants to foster the relation between nature, people, and culture. The final ambition is to be ready for the future. By reinforcing the public, the green, and the nature, our proposal is a first module in a densifying and verticalizing Seoul. The rooftops are activated, elevating the public to its heights into the third dimension. Through its polyvalent surfaces, the building allows to be adapted in the future to new needs without having to be changed fundamentally. The polyvalent structure and robust design allows a joint development and flexibility in the participative planning process between the city of Seoul, the citizens, and the architects. Finally, the design can act as a rational hardware to support future digital innovations and AI. The architecture disappears to create the perfect frame for the colorful displays and light performances. Concluding, we have the ambition to create an intelligent building which enhances the specific qualities of the site: nature, park, river, public, realizing an ecological and technological pioneer, integrating nature and its imminent innovations. And we want to create a pioneer with a vanishing architecture that foregrounds nature, public, and digital reality, allowing us to create together a new kind of landmark that goes beyond the classic typology of a performance hall with a future-oriented expression. Many thanks for giving us the chance to think about Seoul's built future. It has been an honor to be here today. 감사 합니다.
Thank you. Please give him a big round of applause.
So we have listened to the third team's presentation, and he just showed us the detailed concept for the design. And this is the end of the session 1, and the 2 remaining projects will be introduced to you in the session 2. Now it is 4:19, so why don't we take a 10-minute break before resuming the session 2? So let's take a 10-minute break.
네, 여러분 휴식.
Did you enjoy your break? And we will go straight to the session 2 for the the forum for the second Sejong Center for Performing Arts. We had 3 presentations and we have 2 more presentations to go. So the first, I'd like to invite Mr. Oh Hogan from the Design Camp Moonbak DMP. Please welcome him with a big round of applause. Good afternoon. I am Oh Hogan from TMP Architects. I will present our project proposal. We want to build a landmark for the public. Other countries and other cities have their own landmarks, and they are a part of their daily life. Well, when it comes to Seoul, we have a great opportunity and great potential, which is Han River. The Han River has a broad width of like a 1 kilometer wide, and you can take a look at the river from far away. And also there is a Yeouido inside Han River, and it really makes a dramatic landscape for the city. And here we will have the landmark for the public. And the key idea for the landmark is to have or to make it as a part of the daily life. From drones only, you can see these skyscrapers and fancy and large architecture, but they cannot be really part of the daily life for the public. From the Olympic motorway on a car or when you walk on the Han River Park and in your life, as a part of your life, you can see that, and it should be at your eye level that can be seen from like a far away. That should be that. And it will be a great sky landscape or skyscape, and it is like a huge, like a vertical vacancy. And here we made a very important point. It should need to be broader or bigger. And in this site, it's just the right scale, and it will be remembered always as a symbol of Seoul. And chapter 2 is about how to connect these two different sites or the park. And when you look at the Yeouido Park, we have a lot of great parks and forests as the Central Park in New York. And when you look at the park of famous cities, they didn't do any artificial landscaping. The nature itself is a really great place to relax, and it's a sustainable landmark. Luckily, the Yeouido Park is also large and long, and when you do just a little work, you can preserve the nature as a great spot for the city. And Hangang Park as well, on the riverside of different cities, you can see how they naturally embedded into the urban fabric. If you try to do too much artificially or with the buildings and architecture, you may undermine the whole great beautiful skylines. And the Han River should remain as it is so that you can enjoy the most beautiful and the comfortable and the great Han River. So without doing much, you have to leave it as it is, the rivers and the forests as they are, and only then we can enjoy the best part and the beauty of this nature. So when you combine the two with the right level of the connectivity under the ground, you can link them, connect them underground. So from the forest to the river, this long journey will be at a human scale, and you can feel the strong and powerful narrative. So the parks should lead to the rivers as they are, and the building should not block them. There should be like only a point of the wayfinding. That's what we wanted the project to be. So at this, the cross-shaped site, we wanted to maintain that and occupy the minimum site, and it should locate at the end. Shifting the channels, it will lead to different journeys, and the forest landscape will lead to the riverscape. That's what we imagined it to be. With that, this new performing arts center will not be shown from one particular direction. It is facing all different directions of the city, and it will be also seen from different directions. So of this cross-section plan, you can see how open they are to the center of the park. First, the open grand theater, the lobbies and the seatings are open to the Han River, and also this medium theater will be on the upper part of the grand performing hall, and they will be open to the forest as well. So at the different levels, the forest and rivers will be connected. So this is really unprecedented and whole new level of the performing arts center that we want to build. So at the different levels, as you put more and more layers, and then you will have a huge a space at the bottom and passing through the whole building, and there will be different layers where people can access. And so it will be like a floating site, and they will face the Hangang River park and also the Yeouido Park. It's like the land of the stratum that we have that built over the years in the Yeouido Park. So when you have that like a floating over the park, it will turn the narrative of the public into this building. So that's how we want to have this like a 5 different foyers so that the people can come in and enjoy their narratives. So first, the ground foyer will meet with this water or the river. It can accommodate like 5,000 people, and the stage will become like a standing floor so that many people can come in and enjoy this the front yard of the center, and the whole the width will be maintained to lead to the plaza for the festivals, where it will be also connected to the Hangang River Park. So, and the second part is like the foyer for the road and the city, and it is also the access point for everyone. So it's like a street foyer, and it will be the lobby for the flexible staging. And when you don't have any grand performance hall, the stage behind will be open to the Yeouido Park, and it will also encounter with this outdoor performing stage. And the water or the river foyer will also lead to this outdoor foyer, and it will be where you can have a look at the river from like a high and distant perspective. And also at the opposite side, you will have this park foyer. It will also open to this Yeouido Park, and you can have a look at this huge Yeouido Park at one glance. And last, the sky foyer will be at the top level, and it's open like 360 degrees, and you can have a look at this whole entire city. And when there are no concerts, you can still enjoy the exhibitions, and you can read books, and you can enjoy your time here. So it will be a great place where you can freely access, and the Infinity Garden will be on the rooftop, and it will also enrich your experience as visitors. So the landmark is not just to see, but it's something that you can experience and you can interact with. It's not just for the audience, but it's open to everyone in the city. It's like sky foyer. But we want the building to not to brag about itself, but it's something that can be like a great addition to the city urbanscape. So it's something that can mirror the landscape, as you can see here. So with that, the building will represent its silhouette and also mirror the beautiful nature underneath. And it will have the skyscrapers, but instead of the skyscrapers, it will be a natural and also a floating site. It will surround the buildings, and these like the meter, like a bundles, will expose itself along these lines, and on this canopy ceiling, it will be each like the piece of the pixel that will mirror this light. And like the umbrella, it will be shading for the public, and with the advanced technologies, it will be also integrated with the information in this huge display. And this new second Sejong Center will be embracing the land, the riverscape, and it will be also the new memory for the soul. And above all, it will be not just as an object, but it will be where all the public can go in and take part in and create their narratives as the public space. And that will be that kind of the sky foyer, the public landmark for the people. Thank you so much. Please give him a big round of applause.
네, 시민들이 일상
So citizens can enjoy this space in their daily lives. So now we just have one last presentation. So I'd like to invite the speaker who will introduce you the last presentation. So please welcome Ms. Bibiana Bucerato representing Zaha Hadid Architects. Please welcome her with a big hand.
So good afternoon to you all. It is my pleasure, on behalf of Zaha Hadid Architects, a ULD studio, to present today our vision for the site. I will open the presentation with a note from Dame Zaha Hadid. Art is the ability to enhance, enrich, and transform life, to reflect, contemplate, challenge, and explore. Our proposal is a new icon for Seoul, connecting the Han River to the Green Cultural Place and the Yeouido Park. Civic, cultural, and public spaces are all seamlessly linked, and inviting everyone to engage with Seoul's rich history and future. A new paradigm for a new landmark, not just an object, fixed identity, but a landscape that evolves with time, with no harsh boundaries between what is within and without, what is below and above. From the new iconic plaza to sunken gardens, connection with the metro, from sports facility to open markets, culminating in an integrated cultural facility, open, accessible, green, and enhancing for all. Yeouido Park is a cherished urban forest. Nested between the IFD was an airport fields and a civic social gathering space. It really represents the history of Seoul. But right now, it is an isolated island within the island, failing to engage efficiently with the surrounding urban environment. Our design objectives are to enhance accessibility, connectivity, and permeability of the site, to introduce a distinct architectural landmark in the form of the new Performing Arts Center. The design strengthens two main axes, the natural corridor and the civic axis. We take into consideration the underground station by creating sunken gardens that connect back to the pedestrian crossing of the site. An easy access for everyone, so from a disconnected island within an island to a park accessible to all, with no harsh boundaries between below and above. The Han River and the open amphitheater will be visible right from the central axis of the site, and throughout the sunken gardens, the space will find new ways across in terms of visibility and pedestrian connectivity. The roof becomes a social hub, a fully blended within the park, weaving culture, nature, and the Seoul citizen. The roofs allows for 360 degrees view into the city and surrounding, free for all and open 24 hours a day. And 100% green coverage is guaranteed. From the elevated roofscape, we go down into the spaces of the garden with the rich spaces where new proposed facilities will be located. The enriched and the diversified public offering is actually continuous throughout the project. We have created so for a space for all to socialize and engage with the arts. Starting from the site plan, we have envisaged 4 main zones in the master plan. The natural ecological garden connected with the bridge to the Sandgang, the civic access with visual and physical connection to the underground, the social gathering spaces targeting business workers and the community around the site, to the cultural zone leading into the Han River from the middle axis. Now you are seeing the pedestrian bridge across the ecological park. They will be used throughout the year, being covered and accessible by both pedestrian and cyclists. This will lead directly into the media forest and then in the new connected civic plaza. This will offer a view into the underground F&B retail facilities and into the metro station and train station. Continuing to the side, we have the social area with cafe pavilion, library, targeting all of the people that live in the area, plus all the ones that will visit in the future soon. From this, we get to the main entrance space. Surrounded by water is mirroring what is happening on the other side with the presence, very strong presence of the Han River. The amphitheater and the waterfront are completing the scheme. Looking back, the park is still present on the roof of our building, and the opening of the open amphitheater will create new opportunities for people to socialize. We looked at a dynamic symmetry throughout the design of our landscape. On one end, the big forces coming from the Han River are creating the amphitheater outdoor. From the other is the park. They are all linked with a central axis where the 2 main auditoriums will be located on the side. The roof garden is covering everything, symbolizing how strong is the presence of an ecosystem in this area. Given the ability of 360 degrees open to all views into the city, this will become the new space for the citizen to enrich themselves culturally as well as enjoy the natural environment. We are entering into the building now. The whole idea is a multi-level space. Every single in a section, walking through the building, every single point you will find something happening above you and below you. Above you there will be now the cafe for the park foyer. Looking forward, you will see the exhibition space, the real new cultural hub for this site. But above you, there will be the rehearsal room, the studios for the performers to be active. There is then the main foyer lobby. Below and in front of you, the Han River and the open amphitheater. Above you, a sky garden, a viewing deck, with then on top, a sky garden. We're very proud to have been able to connect physically and visually the park all the way through a sunken garden, under the main road, all the way to the Han River. We feel that this connection, this strong natural access, is a very important item that we need to preserve and enrich with our design. In terms of the program distribution, we wanted a common basement where all of the facilities loading bay could be located. Then we have the central spine of the cultural hall with the front foyer and the back foyer being completely open to the panorama of the city. The 2 main auditoriums are located on the side, and above them, educational zone, exhibition, sky garden, and an open free-for-all viewing deck is located. This is the main spine, so we have the exhibition flowing through your passage and the rehearsal room appearing on the top. The arts are all fused together in a central spine of this building. The main foyer connects on one side to the main grand performance hall for 2,300 visitors, to the smaller performance hall. The idea here is to bring together the public and the actors, the public and the people that are performing the arts. The space is very much open from every different level. The big internal facade of the auditorium are therefore fully engaged for people to see and experience. This is the timber facade of internal main performance art center that then opens into the media corridor and all the way down to the amphitheater open to the Han River. And here we are again. I think this is very important that we have been able with this design on one end to stretch the park all the way to its edge and give opportunities to everyone to enjoy the space. On the other, to give a very strong facade for the city of Seoul to appreciate. The undulating glazing will be the space for projecting the events that are happening inside the halls, and at the same time, projecting a very clear and strong image of a landmark that is not an object, is very much fused with the culture, with the landscape, and with the rich history of Seoul. Thank you very much.
네, 박수 부탁드립니다.
Thank you very much for your presentation. So she closed up the full 5 presentations. So we meet up all 5 presentations. So throughout this international design competition, you have watched the final 5 finalists. So you may have many questions about the presentation. So we'd like to open the floor for the Q&A session. So we're gonna have 15 minutes of a Q&A session. So all the designers of the team and architect Kang Byung-gun, please come up to the stage to have the Q&A. So you can just feel free to proceed with the Q&A. And to the interest of time, please, we cannot take all the questions. So please limit your questions only to the design. And the other questions may be discussed and addressed some other time. And today, I sincerely ask you to ask a question only about the design. As soon as the stage is prepared, we'd like to begin the Q&A. First up, I'd like to invite the designers of each team to the stage, and it will be moderated by Mr. Kang Byung-gun, supervising architect. Please come up to the stage.
네, 저희 무대 오른쪽
So please wait on the right side of the stage, and then and architects, please wait. And due to time constraints, we will have the questions and answers until 5:05. And please limit your questions on the designs and projects only. And I'm sorry, and thank you for your patience for while we are arranging the stage. The architects, while we are getting ready with the stage, please wait. Because we have a big group of people. So the architects and designers, we have a big group of people on the stage, so please wait for more seconds. And also one announcement, the Q&A will be moderated by the supervising architect Kang Byung-gun of Seoul City. And we have invited these 5 teams, and you may ask your questions. However, your question should be only about the designs and the concepts and the projects. And we will end the Q&A session by 5:05. So please ready for your questions. And I think we are ready to go, and I will now turn it over to Supervisor Architecture Kang Byung-gun. Okay, so Mr. Kang, can you check your microphone if it's on? Our staff is now checking on the microphone. So let me repeat myself. The Q&A will end at 5:05, and if you have any questions, you may ask to the architects and designers, and Mr. Kong will moderate this Q&A, and due to time constraints, we may not entertain so many questions. So can you check the microphone, please, technicians? And the questions should be only about the concepts and designs. Okay, now it's working, I think. Thank you. And as the MC just mentioned, this is not a discussion, but this is about the questions. So I would propose this. We have 5 teams, and only we should have like a fair distribution of the questions. So if you raise your hand, if you have questions, I will try to have all the 5 teams will have a chance to answer your questions. So if you have any questions from the floor, you may raise your hand, and we will get you a microphone. Okay, so we have one person at the center. Can you bring her or him a microphone? When you ask a question, please specify your name, and so please ask a short question, only one question. Hello, I am Bang Mi-young. I am living in Yeouido area, and the Yeouido Park is not just for the Yeouido residents, but it's a really big part for the Seoul city. It's over 20 years since it opened the park. So it's a really great place. We have a great pine trees, great forest, and the Yeouido Park is like a heart of the city. As far as I know, about 20% of the park can be developed. And the last presentation from Zaha Hadid architects made a presentation.
You talk about sunken garden for the connectivity and inclusivity or permeability. Out of the total footprint of the park, do you design, I think you, whether you design all the green area of the total footprint of the park. And second of all, to the Hangang River, there is some plaza. I think there is some very wonderful plaza that have been designed for 7 to 8 years ago. That is very cherished by citizens. I just wonder if that plaza will be dismantled for your purpose of the project. So let me just clarify your question first of all. So whether you are asking, there will be the international competition for the Yeouido Park. There will be separate international design competition for the Yeouido Park. So the sunken garden, should you please take the sunken garden as just an idea suggestion. So please bear that in mind. And the Mulbit Plaza that we are having on the Yeouido Park, so regarding that, whether that will be used or redesigned, that's your question. So I'd like to ask that question to the designer of the Zaha Hadid. Well, the Zaha Hadid my question goes to not only to the Zaha Hadid, but also many other 4 other teams. I just wonder whether their design include Mulbit Plaza as it is that we are having today, or you're gonna redesign that. So we're gonna give the chance to Zaha Hadid, the architect, to answer the question first of all, and I will just ask other team what's their plan to utilize the Mulbit Gwangjang or Plaza. So Zaha Hadid, the architect, are you ready to answer?
Yes, I am. First of all, thank you very much for your question. It is indeed, in the presentation that I just gave, we are giving a vision starting from the river all the way to the connectivity with the Satgang. It is a vision for now, meaning that there will be a second stage of this competition where whether the park will go through many changes or not will be decided together with the city. From our point of view, the park in itself is beautiful. It's very rich in vegetation. And in our proposal, the idea is to save as many as possible of the mature trees already present on site. There is, though, a problem when it comes to the cold and very cold times, where essentially most of the population will walk underground. And we feel that introducing this visual and physical connection between the underground and the above ground, it's a very important aspect for the 6 months of the year where essentially it's not really nice to walk outside. So we are thinking about this park for all of the seasons, not only for a day like today. Something that can be at least be possible to see throughout the changing season. When it comes to the amphitheater, I think it is correct. Essentially, it will fit very well in our scheme to leave the existing park. Again, it's a vision for now, but we will be more than happy if this is a space that is cherished by the population to just leave it as it is. Thank you.
So I'd like to distribute the time to the older designers. So I will, make time evenly distributed to all the other teams. So the other team, do you have any comment to relate it to the Mulbit Plaza? If there's no, then you may have some wonder to a certain degree. So let me just answer. This is the second Sejong Center for Performing Arts, but when we ask for the participating team, that the Sejong Center should have some relationship with the Yeouido Park and the Hangang River Park. At the same time, even though it is not built yet, we ask designers to make a relationship with the future Seoul Port. So please bear that in mind when you're trying to understand the design. So we're gonna have another competition next year. Then everything will be included for the consideration. So next year, when we are having the competition, this is then we are not only consider the building and center itself, but also the Yeouido and the Seoul City all at once. And do you have any other question? Please raise your hand.
It would be great if we have really more time, but we only have like a limited time, like 10 minutes. So I'm so sorry for rushing, and I'm sorry for not giving you enough time. But if you have any questions, please raise your hand. And after you listen to the presentation, if you have any questions to the finalists, then I will keep talking. Because you might have a lot of questions to ask. First of all, what you saw today is not the final design. This is like the draft version of designs. And later, for the second Sejong Center to be built in Yeouido, maybe next year, by this time of year, next year, we will start to have this whole full process, and then in 2 years, we will get the final concept design that will be revealed or unveiled. So it will be in 2 years of time from today. So according to this timeline, by 2026, maybe early 2026, we will start the construction, and then you can have a great Sejong Center to be built on the site. The architect, I think we have one question on the second floor. Where? We have one question from the second floor. Can you give him or her microphone, please? I'd like to ask a question to the Zaha Hadid again.
So again, questions go to the Zaha Hadid, the architects. Can I continue? Yes. I actually pay attention to your works, and some of your work are surreal, and that's sometimes it's a future-oriented, and sometimes very bold and disruptive. And this time, your proposal for the second Sejong Center, I think the strengths of your proposal is your, the code, the curve. But from the Hangang Park or the Han River, it seems very simple. It's very straight lines according to the road. Then why you are not incorporating the curve for the facade from the Hangang or river? So if I put it this way, it's not like Zaha did, is it? Yeah, we can say that. Yeah, only the facade from the Hangang River.
Again, a very interesting question. I believe that up to now, and again, we will be looking again at these two facades in the next stage. Up to now, the strong idea here was to have a very sinuous and fluid facade facing the park, a bit like paying homage to the Yodo Park. Whereas towards the city, we felt that we needed something that was representing also the surrounding. We will be, and these sides, both on the north and south part of the park, will be a lot of quite harsh geometries. Therefore, it's like a way for us to say, you know what is inside with the glazed facade, with the arts, with the performances, is stronger than, just some melting facades. So the idea here is to give priority at the content of the building, to really showcase what is inside when facing the city, and being gentle and accommodating, and really linking it back to nature when it comes to the facade to the park. But we have time to change this in the next stage, so let's see.
네, 건축가님, 저희가 시간이 관계상 여기서 좀 질문을
Due to time constraints, I think that's all we can have for the Q&A because we will have like an award ceremony. So supervising architect, can you make a closing comments? Well, this curve, if you have too many curve, it will mean more cost and higher cost. But still, I do not want to limit the freedom to have these curves and beautiful designs. So I will try to do my best to a lot of freedom for the architects. But like I said earlier, well, art is about overcoming the limitations that we have as human beings. And today, when you think about it, I mean, we saw really beautiful designs, and I am excited, and maybe you have felt that as well. We have 5 teams here, and let's give them a big round of applause with huge support and expectations. Thank you so much. And thank you. We are so sorry for having not enough questions and answers. And we have to go straight to the award ceremony. So we will arrange the stage. And architects and designers, please return to your seats. And now we will go straight to the award ceremony. And you have heard the presentations about the second Sejong Center for Performing Arts. And at the forum, we have selected 5 teams, and we will give the awards to the 5 teams. And before that, we will hear from the mayor and also the special guest for the congratulatory remarks. While we are setting the stage, we will go straight to the award ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please take a seat, and when the stage is ready, we will go straight to the award ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 is English, and number 1 is Korean, number 2 is English for the interpretation. Just in case, we will have the remarks from the mayor and the congratulatory remarks, and we will have the award ceremony, and that will be for the 5 selected teams.
내빈분들이 도착하시면
And when our special guests come inside the hall, then we will start the award ceremony. You have had these 5 presentations, and it is also live streamed on YouTube. And many citizens is also joining us from online. So they also wanted to have more time for the Q&A, and you might have a lot of questions and posted that on the YouTube. So designers and architects, you may go to the YouTube online to check their comments or questions. So when our guests take a seat, then we will start. And the award ceremony will be first the remarks, and then we will have the award granting and then closing. And now we will begin the award ceremony. First of all, I'd like to introduce special guests who are here with us today. So when your names are called, please stand up and please give them a big round of applause when their names are called. First of all, we have Chairman Kim Hyun-gi of Seoul Metropolitan City Council. And we have Choi Ho-gon, Mayor of Yeongdeung-po-gu District, is here with us. Thank you for being with us. And also, Do Moon-yeol, Chairman of the Balanced Urban Planning Committee of Seoul Metropolitan Council, is here with us. An Ho-sang, President of the SEJONG Center for Performing Arts, is here with us. Please give him a big round of applause. And last but not least, we have a very special guest. Mayor Oh Se-hoon of the Seoul Metropolitan City Government is here with us. Please give him a big round of applause. Thank you so much. And now we will have the remarks from the mayors.
말씀 부탁드리겠습니다. 모두
So, Mr. Mayor, please come up to stage for your speech. Please welcome him with a big hand. You have seen all the works, right? Oh, you love all of that, right? So can we just make a 5 of it across the Seoul? Well, I just got the report in detail about the 5 works. In the process of reporting, I find every work is really interesting, and I just half jokingly saying that. But I really wish to realize every single work into the Seoul city, so I can see how much work you have put into making this proposal. So I really appreciate your work. And my special thanks goes to Mr. Kim Young-gil and Mr. Choi Ho-gon, the Yeongdeung-po-gu mayor. On my way up here, I saw some citizens are leaving a little early. And once again, thank you very much for being here out of your great interest. I think this is a great evidence that you are interested in the policy affairs of city government. So the process itself is enjoyable. That's what I believe. From May, we have opened and operated this international design competition for about 90 days. We have received so many proposals from the international and domestic architect and the landscape designers. And finally, we have selected 5 works out of many. To sum it up, so you have made up all 5 presentations, and my request for them goes like this. When you are designing and building public building, the center for this is a hardware for the culture and art. So for example, LG Art Center or Lotte Concert Hall. So since it is a public center, so there is a differences between the private center. Simply speaking, this is not only for people who can afford arts and culture. So usually, some people who can afford can enjoy culture and art. It costs some money. So sometimes people feel arts and culture is far away from them. But those people who believe art and culture is not there, it's not about them, will enjoy the art and culture in this public building, which is built and designed by the public money. So there might be some people who may not enjoy one performance once a life, but I want to give the opportunity for them to enjoy the art and performances, just as some other people. So for example, if you want to go to the Sejong Art Center, you have to buy tickets which cost about 50,000 won or 100,000 won. But those who cannot afford that, they can see what performances are going on inside the building through the big outdoor bulletin board or the big screen outside. So they can enjoy that outside without paying that ticket of admission. That is the top priority for the publicity, so that's my request for the designers to reflect them into their design. And the second request is accessibility. Still, there are some people who haven't gone into the Culture and Art Center. I want to have this building open to everyone, not intimidating people who cannot afford the admission, and everybody can feel free to go there to enjoy the sceneries and do some activities inside. And on top of the basic functions of the public building, and I want to open these spaces to everybody because it is sitting in the very good location in terms of transportation. And Yeouido Park and Hangang Park meets right here in the site. So the site, from the transportation wise, it can serve multiple purpose. There might be the taxi services over the water, and in the future, and when you are looking at the Yeouido from across the Han River, you can see wonderful sceneries day and night, just like what you are enjoying around the DDP. So it will serve as a media facade, just like a DDP. So I want this building be a place where citizens can go, whether there is some performance or exhibition or not. So that is my second request. In addition, when people get in or get around the building, they can go up or go in the building and can see the cities across the Han River or over the park. And it would be better for this building to have this kind of function. I think it sounds like I'm so greedy. If that is realized, then it's really worth for the investment. So there should be this kind of request can be incorporated into actual design plan. Then we can achieve the policy affairs of Seoul City going together. Please have a great expectation and interest in this project. If we realize this project in Yeouido Park, so far Yeouido Park has been used by the citizens and neighborhood who are living close by. But once we have this project realized, then everybody living in Seoul, who are driving by or walking along or passing through over the Han River on the boat, everybody can enjoy this public space. That is my expectation for this project. Once again, thank you very much for showing your interest in this project. And thanks to your interest, we have finally selected 5 design studio. I strongly believe all of you will design a building that is for going together with all citizens. And I believe this will be wonderful second Sejong Center for Performing Arts. This is really enjoyable and happy day. I want you to have the same emotion. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was a great remarks. And as Mayor wished, we want it to be a great place for all the citizens. And we will now move on to the Chairman Kim Hyun-gi of the Seoul Metropolitan City Council. Please welcome him with a big round of applause. Hello, good to see you everyone. I am Chairman of the Seoul Metropolitan City Council. We are having this forum for Second Sejong Center for Performing Arts to be held in 2026, and we are really looking forward to this new chapter of the Yeouido Park. It's really a great pleasure for me. From Yeongdeungpo and from Yeouido, we have so many residents and citizens who are from this Yeongdeungpo, and you feel so excited, right? You are so excited. How do you feel? We feel so great. And to make this event possible, I mean, after all this hard work by so many people, we are now about to begin this journey. Who worked the hardest, do you think? Do Moon-yeol, the chairman of the Balanced Urban Planning Committee, I think made the biggest contribution. Please give him a big round of applause for his hard work. Citizens, do you feel great? Mr. Do is not alone, and also Mr. Choi, the mayor of Yeongdeungpo, and also he really literally begged to the mayor. He did a great job getting this done. Please give him a big round of applause as well. And also today at this public forum, for this big picture and the 4 new changes, we really unveiled the big picture. You are so excited, right? I can't hear you enough. So when you look at this whole concept and the site plans, we are so excited. So it will be a great landmark that will connect the nature and the culture and the Sejong Center and also the Han River Park, and it will be a really important venue. And many people really worked hard, and I guess the one who loved the arts and culture, our mayor Oh Se-hoon, really did a great contribution to make this event all possible. I mean, as he mentioned earlier, we can feel his strong love for the culture and arts, and we could see his insights as well. We are so lucky and blessed to have him as our mayor. Do you agree? So once again, give him a big round of applause for having him as our mayor. So our mayor and I, we are working really closely with a good chemistry, and the arts and culture in particular is where we are singing eye to eye. The current Sejong Center will be also redeveloped in the near future. That's what he committed to, right? And like this, in the Seoul city, we have enough, but we may not have enough budget. However, he's really putting a lot of investment into expanding the culture and arts facilities. And the Seoul citizen is so happy to have him as our mayor. And I also, as I was the former chairman for the Culture and Arts Committee of the Seoul City, I will do my best to assist the mayor and the supervising architects of Seoul. Where are you? Mr. Kong, please give him another big round of applause as well for our supervising architect. Mr. Kong, Professor Kong, is also working hard to develop the art, culture, and architecture as a designer. I have high expectations for what he will do for the city. And also for this waterside, the landmark and iconic architecture, you made a great proposals, and I'd like to thank the 5 teams. Well, like the Manhattan in New York, it's the center of the finances, and we have the Broadway in the city. I've been there too. And also for our next generation global hub, London is really emerging. And in there, we can also see a lot of great artwork Kabaskia is the place where we can feel the art and culture. So Seoul, in particular in Yeouido, will be a place which attracts the people, businesses, and the technology and the information. It will become another hub of the finance, and also it will complete this whole assets with the culture and arts. And this second Sejong Center will be where completing these properties of the Seoul city. And I hope that we can have a great city and in Yeouido and the Seoul to be more competitive and stronger city. That's the journey that we will take. And the Seoul Metropolitan Council will be there for the journey. The mayor, when he allocates the budget, then we will pass the bill fast. And above all, for the culture and arts promotion, and I like to support the mayor's efforts to promote the culture and arts in the city. Once again, I'd like to congratulate on having the forum for the second Sejong Center for Performing Arts. I hope this will be a great opportunity to have culture and arts blossoming in the city. Thank you so much.
And President Kim Hyun-gi of Seoul City Council delivered a heartfelt message. Now I'd like to invite the Yeongdeung-pogu Mayor Choi Ho-gon to the stage. Please welcome him with a big hand. Singing is better. So we have seen the 5 presentation. How do you find it? I really excited and thrilled to see that. And I even touch it by watching and listen to the presentations. It's a really happy moment. And there are so many people who put a lot of efforts to have this moment. And Mr. Mayor Oh Se-hyun, thank you very much for your work. And until we actually physically build this project, Mr. Kim Hyun-gi, the president of Seoul City Council, you're gonna financially support this project. We sincerely ask for your support until the end of this project. And my special thanks goes to the supervising architect Kang Byung-gun. Thank you for your hard work. Yeongdeung-po is well known for the Cherry Blossom Festival and the Firework Festival in the autumn. Actually, we celebrate the 10th anniversary of BTS, so we hosted the BTS the 10th anniversary festa. And we do have a Pompidou Museum attracted by Hanwha Group, which is a globally renowned museum. And finally, we have the second Sejong Center in Yeongdeung-pogu, in the center of Yeongdeung-pogu, Yeouido. And there will be the boat ferry deck, and then the global cruise tourists will come to this Yeouido and Seoul. And if you go to the National Assembly building, you will see Marina Resort for the yachting. So the yachting will be, the Seoul will be the center and hub for the yachting. And you may see the Seonyu-do Island if you just go along with the Han River. So the culmination of everything is the second Sejong Center for the Performing Center in the Yeouido. The K-wave is very strong, and now we are having the 10 million international tourists. But with this center, I believe that number of tourists will increase to 30 million. Excuse me. You know, the opening ceremony and opening performance can be performed by BTS when we officially open this second Sejong Center. Seoul and this building will represent not only Seoul but also Korea itself. So it will be the production, the space for the production of culture and the place for people enjoy the culture. Once again, my special thanks goes to Seoul City Mayor Oh Se-hyun and Seoul City Council Member Kim Hyun-gi and Seoul citizens. And also, thank you all the designers who present the wonderful design works. Thank you very much and congratulations. Thank you very much. Please give him a big hand. And the city mayor, the 구 mayor delivered his expectations. So we'd like to move on to the award giving ceremony. You have listened to the presentations of 5 teamworks, and now we'd like to deliver and present awards to each team. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Mayor Oh Se-hoon to the stage for presenting the award first of all. So everybody's in the stand line. So I will introduce and invite each team members one by one. So the first winner is POM Architects team. Please come to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a big hand. So they are selected as one of the 5 winners. The plaque, the selected work, to Kim Ki-young, representative of POM Architects, Alibus, and Kang Han-sol, representative of RBIF. In the international design competition for the second Sejong Center for Performing Arts, your work has been selected for its wonderful and quality design. Seoul City Mayor Oh Se-hoon 2023 on September 9th. He is presenting the plaque and the medal together. Congratulations one more time. Let's take a picture together.
네, 너무 좋습니다. 상장은 앞쪽으로 펼쳐서
So please present the plaque and medal to the camera. Please give them another hand. Congratulations one more time. You may go back to your seat. And next up, I'd like to invite Team 2. So Team 2 is Hirim Architects. Please give them a big hand. Plaque. The winner is Jung Young-gyun, a representative of Hirim. Congratulations. Please give them a big round of applause. So we are now presenting the medal. And also, we're going to take a picture together. So stand closer to the city mayor. Please give them another hand. Congratulations. And Team 3, please come to the stage. Zurich Age team, please come to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome them and congratulate them with a big hand. The plaque to the Jang Zurich, representative of Zurich Age and Shinpyeong Engineering. Congratulations. So now they are receiving the medal. They are showing us the biggest smile. So let's take a picture together. Though, it is very rare for our citizen who is very tall looks short now. So please give them a big hand. Congratulations one more time. You may go back to your seat. And now I'd like to invite the Team 4, Design Camp Munbak DMP. Please come to the podium. The plaque goes to the Design Camp Munbak DMP Oh Ho-gun and Professor Kim Young-min. Congratulations. So now they are receiving the medal. So 3 of you, why don't you take a picture together? So stand a little closer. So please give them another hand. Congratulations. And you may go back to your seat. Last but not least, now I'd like to invite Zaha Hadid Architects. Please give them a big hand. And plaque goes to Zaha Hadid Architects, Ms. Patrick Schmad, and ULD Landscape Design Studio. Congratulations. And as always, we are presenting the medals together. Congratulations. Let's take a picture. So please give them a big hand. Thank you very much, and congratulations on your receiving and winning the plaque. We'd like to take a group photo with all 5 winners and city mayor. So all 5 team members, please come to the center of the stage. So everybody for the better picture with many people, we need to organize well, and you can fold.
네, 좋습니다. 크고 환하게 웃어주시고
So please look into the camera and show your biggest smile, and please give them a big round of applause. I cannot see the screen, but I'm pretty sure all of you are smiling big. So all the audiences, please give them another round of applause. Thank you very much, and we'd like to wrap up the photo session. Now all of you, please go back to your seat.
진심으로 5작품
Congratulations once again on getting the award, all the 5 teams, and now I will have a closing for today's forum. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for staying with us today, and that is the end of today's forum. Thank you for staying with us for long hours, and also those who are joining us online, thank you so much for staying with us. And before I close the forum, I'd like to make announcement. You all have your own cell phone, right? Without your camera, please take a picture of the QR code that you see on the screen. Take a picture of or scan the QR code, and then you can vote yourself. And you had the presentations of the 5 teams, and you can pick 2 out of the 5 teams that you like the most. If you will like all 5 of them, but you have to pick the 2 best of the best. And we will also give you some prizes with this lucky draw. So if you need enough more time, we have a QR code at the entrance of the room, so you may scan that as well. So that is it, all we have for this forum. Thank you everyone for staying with us for long hours, and we look forward to a great project for the second Sejong Center. Thank you so much.